Hello, and welcome to the Julius Erving episode of the Hoop Theory Podcast, aka episode 66. My name is Logan Wertman, recording this one on the evening of Friday, December 1st. And as usual, I am joined by my witty co-host, Jacob Roth. Jacob, how does it feel to be on the Dr. J episode?
It feels pretty good. Did he score 66?
No, that's just a combination of, just his numbers back to back.
And he didn't get an episode because of Bill Russell. My brain turned off for a second, and that would have been sacrilege if I would have messed that one up. So 6, okay, and I like that because that'll give us more like down the road, a little bit of sauce to cook with if we need it. Because we will for sure.
In the 100s, I'm sure we'll be going back to jersey numbers.
Well, and I think that will also probably be like there's some guys that are just going to be overshadowed, like. 34 we went with, was it Hakeem?
I think so.
But like Paul Pierce,
I think
Charles Barkley, those guys just don't get an episode. That feels wrong.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaq. Yeah, whatever. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Giannis. Yeah.
There's just a lot of guys that like are probably...
I think it was Giannis.
Instead of Hakeem? Wow.
I think we did use Giannis,
We were smoking some crack cocaine.
Well, I think it was because we were talking about the Bucks that episode.
So we
and also like if it's like a more modern player, they get a slight advantage.
Yeah.
Like Giannis and Hakeem's peaks are pretty close.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
Like that, if you give them like pick 1 year of one guy, 2020 Giannis or 90.
For Hakeem.
Was 90, it 94 Hakeem? Whatever.
95 is when he won, I think.
But anyway, so we're going to come back around. So if your favorite player, maybe they're a 6'1" sharpshooter out of BYU named Jimmer Fredette. Or maybe they're a redheaded bench player legend, Brian Scalabrine.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe they're just a guy that just doesn't get that much love, but they're your favorite player. There's a chance there'll be an episode someday. So keep your head up, King or Queen.
Yep, because 66, there was nothing in terms of...
Who was, like, if we followed our old rules, who was 66? Do you remember?
Michael Adams was the best player for the draft pick, 66.
Okay, yeah.
And
then
number,
there was just, like, nothing.
Jersey number, there was no one. No, there was a few. There's a few people, but nobody that...
Well, you'd think it'd be, like, one of the European guys would have, like, scooped up 66. Because... I think we've talked about this before, how like European guys...
An Australian did. Andrew Bogut.
Bogert.
He did it. Bogert.
Yeah. And speaking of jersey numbers, we're spicing up today's episode. Before we get into the meat, usually it's like a rant is how we open things up, but...
That's true.
We're trying to spice, add a little bit of seasoning, some Cajun seasoning. I don't know. We're spicing things up a little bit. We're going to open up with trivia. We used to close with trivia stuff, basketball related, but we are going to flip the head on that, and Logan is just going to go just
sicko mode.
Sicko mode. I was going to say full autismo, but I feel that's...
There was a guy who commented on one of my turtles.
With your nose? Oh, I thought it was gonna be the nose with you, like being within millimeters of the capitals of different countries with your nose.
Oh yeah, that
it was
one.
Awesome. But I was like, "There's no way that he's not gonna get cyberbullied a little bit for that one."
No, nobody said anything.
That's awesome because I was just like, "That's just crazy." How he's just like. I couldn't do that on a map, but you were just like,
So, some of those were like, I got really lucky because there was a few that were in small. I just knew the country.
One of them was Luxembourg, I think.
Yeah, so there's Luxembourg, there was Andorra, and there was the capital of Slovenia, which is Ljubljana, or however you pronounce it.
But you were just like, it's in the southern...
I knew the countries.
Yeah.
and they're just so small of countries
You were just like
that like if I got in it, it was like right on, you know, because I could see the border of the country.
oh yeah,
And I know all the countries,
yeah.
like more than I know where like every single city is. You know what I mean?
No, because that would be an extra level of crazy.
Some of those I knew about where they were. The other ones were like, I just know the country it's in, and I got
You know what?
lucky.
What's insane though? Like the human brain. Think about this for a second before we get to trivia. How crazy it is that you can just be like Hazard, and I know where that's at on a map of Nebraska, or like Shelby, Iowa. I know where that's at. Or like Paris, France. We know where that's at. Just these random things that your brain just stores. Or the fact that like, I don't know how many songs I know every word to. Or you're probably the same.
Yeah.
Or just like the second you hear the beats, your brain just goes like through the filing cabinet at the speed of sound. And it's just like,
yeah,
and then pulls out the words.
I've heard people say before.
Is.
Yeah, I know. I've thought about that before too. Because I've met people that, like, there was like a group of people one time that were like, this is the one song that I know all the words to. Like, everybody has that one song they know. Yeah, I know. And I was like, I don't know if that's just me, but I feel like I have like dozens of songs that I can say every word to.
If you go to the 1995 to 2005, what played on country music radio, I would wager I could hit 90. I'll go 80%.
Yeah, especially like melodic contemporary like music, like pop music, because like you can remember melodies and stuff like that way easy. Like rap songs, there's so many rap songs I know like every single word to, and that's way harder to memorize. Based on experience, rap is much harder to memorize than like a normal song.
Well, yeah, because it's like a verse that's a different identity. That's like not just because it uses the same beat. It like doesn't. It's
for whatever reason, melody just makes things a lot more memorable. But anyways, we were talking about
the brain
TikTok. The guy that commented.
Oh yeah,
you said full autismo. There's a guy who commented on the one of the TikToks of me playing Pirtle, and he said, "Is he acoustic?" Yeah. So I thought that was funny. But yeah, for some reason, I just remember numbers. Really, me and you are both kind of like this. Just like
the way I remember numbers is stupid. It's not normal. But like, if you were to list off a 10-digit number, I would break it into twos, and I would associate whatever football player comes to my mind to that number.
See, that's
so like
I was gonna say,
like an old number I used to have to remember was have we talked about this on the pod?
I don't think so.
So like an old number I used to have to remember, the numbers were Ty Law, Julian Edelman, David Andrews, and then Drew Brees. And so that was just the number, and I was like, okay, Bing Bong or 24, 11, 69. That's 60, then 9. Drew Brees was just 9.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's it, instant. Don't even need to think about it. Just bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you, like, if I didn't have that little thing, I couldn't remember numbers at all. That would be pointless to me.
That's what I was about to say. Like, numbers is, if you just give me a set of numbers, remember, like, I don't know if I'm that good at that, but, like, my memory is just very, like, what's that called? Like, relative, or, man, there's a word for this. It's just not coming to mind at the moment. Associative.
Compartmental? Oh.
Associative.
Yeah.
So, like, when I see an album cover or something like that, the year the album came out just like is at the front of my mind. Like most albums I know what year they came out, and I just remember things like that without trying. I don't know why, but I do. Like jersey numbers, I feel like is the big thing. Like when I watch like Kenny For Real or like other NBA YouTubers like play Pirtle and stuff like that, they're always like they're like, I can't remember any jersey numbers. They don't know any of them.
Wait. Who did you say?
Kenny For Real.
That is king of the fourth quarter. Peasant. It is not Kenny For Real. You are behind the times.
Those are two different channels. The same guy.
Yeah, it's the same guy. King of the fourth quarter is...
Why can I not say Kenny For Real?
Because it's like sacrilege.
That's the channel he plays Pirtle on.
I know, but that's just like sacrilege to not call that man King of the fourth quarter.
Kenny Beecham. We'll just call him that.
Shout out to that guy. That guy's goated with the sauce.
Yeah.
He's also getting to do like huge things now, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I've never met the person in real life, but I feel like he's just like like literally doing what we do, except turned into like a famous person.
And there was a crossover of the century. You know those Hive Mind guys that I've showed you clips of? They've done 3 videos together now. They had Kenny on their show 3 times. The first video they did was they draft rappers to do they fill out a starting 5 basketball team with rappers.
Made out of
Yeah. So that was the first. That was pretty funny. I'd recommend them, but it was just crazy. I was like, I didn't even know these people existed in the same universe. This is so weird. But anyways, going back to,
I think my power forward would be Biggie. I think just to get some size down there.
Yeah. So somebody on their last pick. Because it's a wheel. They don't get actually picked. They call it picks, but they spin a wheel and they just get somebody and then they have to slot them in. On somebody's last spot, they rolled Dame Dalla. Damian Lillard.
I wonder whose team's probably gonna win.
Yeah, exactly. It was over at that point. But yeah. So yeah, as I was saying though, watching those guys play Pirtle and stuff like that, they never remember jersey numbers. But to me, that's just automatic. I don't even try to do it. But I can visual. Sometimes I'm I don't even know if I know it, but I just have a feeling.
I'm gonna test you right now.
Okay, give me some.
You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Terrence Davis.
Terrence Davis. I don't even know what team he's on right now. Is he still on the Kings? He was number 0 at one point.
What was his number in college? I'm just kidding. That's going way too deep. He is still on the Kings.
On the Raptors, he was number 0 or 3. I feel like
he's still on the Kings.
He's number 3 on the Kings.
He is number 3 on the Kings.
Yeah.
He was also number 3 for the college he went to. Do you know where he went to college?
Oh.
Ooh. Absolutely
right?
correct. Well, yeah, we'll go a little bit easier than Terrence Davis. Marvin Bagley, the 3rd.
Duke, jersey number. I know this. 35.
Yeah. Alec Burks.
Right now, he is a different number. I think he's 14 now on the Pistons. Used to be 18 on the Knicks. Been 5. He's been 10.
What was his? Where did he attend college?
Colorado.
Yeah, it's
Buffs.
Also,
can you say the jersey numbers that are listed on his basketball reference? So I feel better about myself. So I can confirm.
So people don't think that you're a poser.
I'll say a number. You tell me yes if it's on there. 14.
Hold on, I gotta get there. Because I got a random list of 10 NBA players. And 10 is on there. Twice.
14 is on there, right?
Yes, it is, for right now.
That's Pistons. 18 was on the Knicks.
Yep.
He's been 5
on the Pistons last year.
Okay. So are there any more numbers?
There is 2 more numbers. 3 more numbers, because I can't count.
11.
When he played for the... No.
Dang. I don't know if I'll get the rest of these. 0?
It's okay. No.
He was a higher number on the Warriors. Right? He was 25?
Yeah. Just 20.
20.
And he was also 20 when he played for the Sixers.
Okay.
And then, but
nice.
mid-season of 2020, he swapped from 20 to 8.
8? Oh, yeah. On the Warriors. Right?
Who is Patrick Beverley? What is going on?
He's number 22 on the Sixers right now. Patrick Beverley.
No. The Celtics Sixers game is going on right now. Jason Tatum teched out. We'll probably talk about technicals because I'm going to get mad at some point if this game goes poorly. Anyway, we'll keep looking at some numbers. Zach Collins, who surprisingly looks like the producer for Macklemore. Ryan Lewis.
Right, I don't even remember what Ryan Lewis looked like. But
Zach Collins with a beard thing.
Oh, yeah. Zach Collins is 23 right now on the Spurs. I believe he was 33 on the Blazers. 23 and 33.
I will confirm. I think you're right, but that is 100% correct.
Zach Collins.
There you go. We are looking at Frank Mason.
0. 10.
Where'd he go to school?
Kansas.
That's very true. Apparently, he's not in the NBA anymore. And
Yeah, I knew that.
10 was his number. He also wore another number.
Not 0?
It was not 0. 0, wasn't this Kansas number?
I don't remember. I feel like it was 0 or something low, maybe 2. 15.
It was 15. Amon Shumpert.
Oh. 21. Pretty much always, I feel like.
I believe you
always,
are correct. Actually, only for 2 teams he was able to wear 21. For the Knicks.
The Cavs?
Cavs, he did not wear 21.
He didn't wear 21. Okay.
Because was that... Who wore 21 on the Cavs? Sorry, what?
I don't know.
What
you wear
was
5, maybe?
He did not wear 5. It's very close to 5 numerically.
Oh, it is 4.
He wore 4.
Yeah, I knew that. And J.R. Smith was 5.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then when he played for the Kings, which I totally forgot that he played for the Kings for a year.
That was the team I was thinking of in my head where I was like, did he wear 21 there? It was a 20 number, right? No, it was 9. It was 9.
Yeah.
The image of his, that just like pops in my head all of a sudden. I don't know how, but all of a sudden I just know that I know it. You know what I mean?
You know what I missed though? I just thought of this thinking of Amon Shumpert. You know how I used to have like the flat top?
Yeah.
I missed Jaylen Brown's.
Yeah, honestly. That was like cool. His peak look.
Most iconic, I think, is probably the term we're looking for, but peak look, I don't know. That just seems weird. That seems like a weird deal. Yeah. I don't know.
His peak.
Drew Holiday and Patrick Beverly, they're friends. They gave each other a high five. It's okay. He wore 10 on the Brooklyn Nets and then 21.
What are we talking about now?
Amon Shumpert. Sorry.
Okay. I don't even remember him being on the Nets. Was that in the pandemic?
Yes. And the year after.
Oh.
So both of them were a little weird. Gabe Vincent.
He was 2 on the Heat. I believe he's 7 on the Lakers.
That is correct. And then Taurean Prince.
Taurean Prince, 12.
Always? For 7 years?
Pretty sure basically always, yeah. Even at Baylor.
He changed for one team in 2020 and 2021. He could not wear 12.
Who would that have been? That'd have been not the Hawks. Where did he go after the Hawks? The Nets? Did he go to the Nets?
He did go to the Nets.
That's where it was different?
Yes. For 2 years. I guess I said 2020, 2021. Or maybe it looks like the second one, it wasn't even a full year. He must have. Maybe it was part of the Cavs. No, I don't know why he went to the Cavs in the middle of the season.
Is it a double-digit number?
Nope, it is a single-digit number.
Single-digit? 2.
It was 2.
All right. That one I did not know at all. I just went off the logic of how players tend to pick their number. Like if they're 12, they can't use 12. Use 2.
Yeah.
You know,
where did Blake Griffin go to college?
Oklahoma. He wore 23.
Tyus Jones.
We're doing colleges now. Tyus Jones, Duke.
Montrezl Harrell.
Louisville.
Ty Jerome.
UVA.
Derrick Jones Jr.
Miami.
Semi Ojeleye.
Was that right?
I think so.
You're not checking them. You're just trusting me.
No, I'm not trusting you. I'm going off of my knowledge as well.
Oh, well.
Because I can't look people up on Basketball Reference that fast. Oh, it was not Miami.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it was.
This was a fumble.
I kind of just said that. What'd you say?
It felt right. It's not even close to Miami at all.
Yeah.
Nothing about this
school. Is it a big school?
No. The town it's in is big, but the school itself is not.
Northwestern?
No.
Where's the city geographically-ish? Like, what views like west, east?
It is west of the Mississippi.
Okay.
It's west of the Rockies also.
And it's like a major city, like top 20? Yes?
Probably. Yeah, probably.
Is it on a coast?
They have major league teams. They have like NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB. They have teams in that. Not all of them, but in that, some of them. There might be one soon.
You said west of the Rockies?
West
of
the
Rockies.
Coast?
Did you answer that?
No.
Not on a coast. It's west of the Rockies. It's a big city. So there's like Phoenix. That's like it, right?
Nope. There's one more that I can think of.
Are you thinking of Vegas, maybe?
Yes.
Oh, he did. He went to
UNLV.
UNLV, yeah. I knew that. Dang it. Bit of Christian
Semi Ojale. I do know this one.
I feel like I knew this one at one point.
They're probably the most famous for what happened to them when they paid football players to go to their school. Good job. Cassius Stanley.
He went to Duke. Pretty positive. He had an insane vertical also. He is also not in the league.
He did go to Duke. For some reason, I was thinking of Cassius...
Winston?
Yes.
From Michigan State.
Michigan State. And I wrote it. Denzel Valentine.
Michigan State. 45.
Well, we blew through 10. Did we do Gary Clark?
For what?
The college?
Gary Clark College. Indiana? I don't know. That was like a shot in the dark, but it just kind of...
It's close to Indiana, but it's not. It's a smaller school.
Number 6.
They're now, as of today, a member of the Big 12 Conference.
So as of today...
Doesn't mean they were when he played there, but as of today, they are a Big 12 Conference.
And is near Indiana.
Geographically, yeah.
Like I think the state?
I'm pretty positive the states touch. Unless I'm flipping 2 states in my brain. They do touch. The states do touch.
But it's a smaller school.
And it is...
Okay. Vanderbilt?
Tennessee does not touch Indiana.
Oh, Kentucky does, yeah.
Kentucky does, but it's not Kentucky either. It is a Big 12 school. See, this is where we're different as the college side of things. That might be the only place that I can hold my own.
Yeah, Gary Clark. So let me narrow down the state first. Pennsylvania.
Nope, doesn't touch Indiana.
Doesn't?
Nope.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're totally right.
This state is in the way. Just
Ohio.
Ohio always has been.
Smaller school in Ohio.
It's not a small school. It's a Power 5 school.
But it's not called Ohio. Cincinnati.
No, Cincinnati. He was a Bearcat.
I have zero memory of Gary Clark in college, honestly.
I didn't say it because I need to make sure they even went to college.
The jersey numbers, I don't think I missed any of those. Pretty sure I nailed every single one of those. Colleges is like a little...
Yeah, they did not go to college.
Because they don't wear their college on their jersey, I feel like is probably why I'm not as good at that.
Al-Farouq Aminu.
Oh, yeah, he went to Wake Forest.
Yeah, he did.
The only reason I knew that was because he was one of our first players in this trivia, earlier. Not this trivia game, but our old one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that was a pretty good little trivia sesh.
Little sessy sesh. Transition, seamless. Do you want to talk about basketball stuff now, sir?
Yeah, let's talk about actual basketball that's happening right now.
And actual basketball that's happening right now is we are in the midst of the first inaugural in-season tournament, and I think, personally, they did a little oopsie-whoopsie, and I think it's formatted terribly. I think, and we've talked about this before, I just think that taking the 4 games in your group, 2 changes should happen to before the play-in tournament at all.
Mm-hmm.
Make it 8 games and make your group be your division.
In-season tournament. I can't remember if we've been saying that the whole time. Last time you said play-in.
I keep saying play-in.
I keep
saying play-in. In-season tournament.
Mm-hmm.
It should be 8 games to get in. So you're playing home and away the teams in your group.
Yeah.
I personally believe your group should just be your division.
I agree.
And call it good there. Because not every division, basketball is the least mattering of division. Division never comes up.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could you go to almost any other sport and you take divisions, there's these just heated rivalries in division because you play each other so many times.
Mm-hmm.
Why basketball doesn't try to because how many aggressive in-division rivals do you, usually it's
It's not really ever aggressive, but like usually the only people who know about it is like the fans of the team. Like, Nuggets and Blazers, Nuggets and Jazz for a little while were kind of a thing just because we play them so often.
But those have no significance to anyone on the national level at all.
Yeah.
Didn't even realize that those games, like, not that they didn't mean anything, but like it's just not. Mm-hmm. Other than like New York and Brooklyn, that one seems pretty like, I wonder why.
Yeah, just because they're in the same city. But
they're the same city.
Yeah, but
Sixers Celtics, I think, is one that people...
that was what I was going to say. Sixers Celtics is a big one.
But like other all-time...
Houston, Dallas matters to them a lot.
Pistons, Bulls might be one. Like it, obviously, both of the franchises have not been at the same level of competitiveness for a bit. They've kind of been... But like there was like a good 15 years where that was like... must watch. That's it.
Milwaukee and Chicago used to be a big thing before Detroit and Chicago.
But I just feel like if you're trying to get these play-in tournaments to matter and people to care about them, doing that would like do two things: make your division games feel like they matter more, and then also make it easier for the scheduling people, because all you have to do is turn a light switch and be like, oh, that Sixers Celtics game or that Nuggets Jazz game on that Friday night, we're just going to make the court fancy, and that's going to be an in-season tournament game. Mm-hmm. And you just do a home and away, because in most scenarios, point differential is like the sixth thing on the list, because it's like win percentage, and then it's head-to-head, and then it's a like opponent, like record against like opponents, and it's like opponents against...
Can you explain that one? I'd never heard of that.
Record against like same opponents?
Yeah.
So, like, I'll just break down, like, the crazy scenario that happened in East Group C, or whatever group the Celtics are in.
So are you talking about just the tiebreakers in the mid-season tournament, or like
just in general?
I've never heard of that. I'm pretty sure it usually goes, it's like you said, win percentage, then head-to-head. In a case of a three-way tie, it's like division winners.
But then they have position in the division, higher win percentage within the division if teams are in the same division.
But before all that, I'm pretty sure point differential.
Point differential is at the bottom. In regular
Are you like
NBA
getting this
playoffs.
off of something?
Yes, and just
playoffs. Like you mean seeding, like standings?
Yes, seeding. The point differential is 7th place.
It's okay. So list the things above it. You have a list that you're looking at.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. And this is about this. I couldn't have done it perfectly, but this is so it's head to head, and then point position in the division. So if you're first in the division, that puts you above, obviously. Then it's higher winning percentage within the division if the teams are in the same division. Then it's the higher winning percentage in the conference. And then it's the higher winning percentage compared to the playoff qualifying teams in one's conference. Then it's the higher winning percentage compared to playoff teams in the other conferences. And then we get to the highest point differential. So it like almost never comes into play for all of those things to be tied. But the problem with this in-season tournament is steps 3 through 6, which was highest winning percentage, blah, 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 can't apply because there's only 4 games being played. So it jumps instantly to point differential, which just turned into this dumb thing where the Celtics are up by 31 points and they're intentionally fouling Andre Drummond.
Yeah. I don't hate that part of it. Like, I think point differential should be...
And I'm okay with point differential to a certain extent, but I think there should just be 8 games then, so it doesn't matter that much. So there's not like one fluky night that like the Nuggets, the second or first or third or whatever you think they are best team in basketball, are not in the in-season tournament.
Mm-hmm.
What?
But yeah, I mean, that's just it was an unlucky timing of Jamal Murray's injury, and
yes, but like my point is like, obviously they want some variability, and like it's not just going to be the 8 best teams. They don't want that to be the case, or else they would have structured it way different and just took in the top 4 in the standings of each side and just said, you're in the tournament, gamers. But that's not what they did. They wanted it to have some sort of variability, and they wanted some games to matter more. And I just think that, like, I just find it like the Thunder also being a team that aren't in it is weird to me. I'm also just a Thunder. I'm just a Thunder guy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We ranted about the in-season tournament. What are your thoughts on the in-season tournament there, sir?
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I think that they should do
8 teams would just be healthier.
8 games, yeah.
8
home
games.
and away.
With your division.
Yeah, I would like that too. Just because the groups thing just seems so random and so like unnecessary because it's the same exact structure as the divisional landscape.
And I don't think any division doesn't have 2 okay teams.
Yeah.
Like,
and
every
like the way these groups were split up was a little uneven like already.
Was worse than divisions would have been.
At least like not any better. You know?
Because like breaking them down, I could go through and name 2 good teams in each one. Atlantic, Celtics, Sixers. In the Southeast, Heat and
that's
Atlanta.
Probably the one
they're
you're
okay.
Gonna get one in.
They're
but yeah.
okay. Atlanta's okay.
Magic right now are actually really good.
Oh, Magic.
So.
I apologize, Orlando fans. And then you've got in the Central, the Bucks and the who am I missing?
I mean, there's Pacers.
Cavs.
Been pretty
Cavs
good.
Cavs. Pacers, Cavs. Combined, they have 2 decent teams. If you add all. Then you've got to the Western side, T-Wolves, Nuggets. Then you've got Lakers,
Dallas.
Kings, Lakers, Clippers, whatever way you want to do it.
Yep,
Dallas, Houston.
Yep, Dallas, Houston.
And then actually it'd be like Lakers,
or
Suns.
Dallas, New Orleans.
Every division has a healthy at least 2 good teams.
Yeah.
So it's not like one team would be like, oh, my division totally sucks and walks through it easily.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So why they couldn't have just done already 5-team groups. And this whole thing's going to get reshuffled. Probably not that much. It'll probably just be whoever wins each group gets to be the person in the in-season tournament when the things get reshuffled, when they add new teams to the NBA. Because the NBA is primed for expansion, Adam, if you haven't heard yet.
Yeah, I think they'll just add another division, I'm guessing.
They'll just NFL. It'll just be straight up the NFL.
The NFL structure.
Every division will have...
The conferences will still be East and West, but...
Yeah. Every division will have 4 teams.
4.
And then in the in-season tournament, the winner of that little round-robin thing...
Actually, I'm pretty sure what they want to do at some point is do... since, like, if you add 2 more teams, make it 32. That's, like, such a perfect number for doing tournaments and stuff. Like, they want to do in-season tournament that includes all 32.
And
maybe
then
they'll have, like, a runway before to figure out seeding. Yeah. But like they'll do something similar probably with like how they figure out seeding, but everybody makes it into the actual bracket round. You know?
But I just think that if in the current format we're looking at, playing 8 games, a home and away, as opposed to 4, where you get 2 home and 2 away, but not against the same teams, would be healthy and beneficial. Not only to make the games feel more important, but I just think that it would also be able to extend it a little bit longer, which maybe they want, maybe they don't want. We've talked about maybe as a way to improve the in-season tournament, making the championship game be what opens up All-Star Weekend.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
And it would also give like another, like, especially if they put a team in Vegas, you can't just go play at Vegas every time. Like you can, but it would be like cooler to rotate where it's at, and different places that have the All-Star game would also have this game. And then the only thing is you'd guarantee the teams that play in the championship game would have they're guaranteed to not play until the Thursday of the next week. Like they get the same amount of break as everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Not the same amount, but at the minimum of a long enough break.
Yeah, for sure. But, that would be interesting. I feel like that would be fun just to have like all the stars from around the NBA be able to be in the building. You know, like that would just be like a fun atmosphere. Like something that's unprecedented. It's like having a bunch of NBA players, like active NBA players, all watching a different actual game. You know, going.
Also, it is 2023. There is like some curable cancers out there. There is medicine for just about anything. People can fly in metal tubes through the sky. Why can we not make a decal on the court that's not slippery?
What? What happened?
No, just have you not seen that, like, there's, like, the same problem, because they used to put the Larry O'Brien in the middle of finals games in the middle of the court.
Yeah.
And it was slippery because it was a sticker decal. Apparently, people have the same problem with the in-season tournament courts. How can we not make a non-slippery surface in all sports?
Why do they need a sticker decal? Why don't they just do how do they make all their courts normally?
I don't know. That's my question. People just claim that they're slippery. And I don't know if this was fans. I don't know if, like, fans saw their guy slip on the thing and it was a coincidence and they're actually fine. I haven't seen an actual NBA player bring this up. But just, like, there is so many things that we can do as a human race that is just crazy. But make a sticker that's not slippery?
Yeah.
What?
I haven't heard anything about that, but
Rodgers tore his Achilles tendon in August, and he is slated to play in 3 weeks at the minimum to play NFL football. What? Achilles.
He's playing in 3 weeks.
He is cleared for football contact.
It's how many months has that even been? Like 5?
3. It was in August.
Was it like a partial tear, maybe? Something?
I don't know. They just said it was a tear.
That's insane.
I'm just like, medicine is wild.
That's nothing even close to that has happened in the NBA. That is like...
I don't know. It's the thing that makes me laugh more is because it's Aaron Rodgers, who's like this weird...
Like natural medicine guru guy.
But apparently he went to a guy that like does a different technique.
Yeah, like alternative medicine.
But no, but like he does an actual surgery and it was like it was real medicine, but like the technique when he's in there was different than what is normally done.
Gotcha.
But if Aaron Rodgers comes back from a torn Achilles let's say he comes back at the end of December, so August, in 4.5 months, I don't know. I feel like that guy is going to be a billionaire.
Yeah. That's like double that is like the minimum.
The norm.
Yeah.
Or the minimum, yeah. Because so the way that he got cleared for contact, so that means that the Jets, who Aaron Rodgers now plays for, have 21 days to take him off of IR and put him in it's not necessarily put him in a game, but to take him off of IR. But a lot of the time when guys get cleared for contact, they play like, maybe not the next week, but the week after that.
That's pretty insane.
It doesn't seem real.
Yeah. There's no way that there's like a full tear. I don't even know how you would be able to. I don't know. Maybe they.
No, because this is what did our gambling thing got cut, didn't it?
Yeah.
When I just got flustered. We had a conversation that was going to be in a pod, but it wasn't. It was Aaron Rodgers. It was then. It was when he tore his Achilles. It was like the day of that, or the day after that episode. Or the day before that episode, sorry.
Or did we tell like the future?
He practiced 11 weeks after surgery.
Like a practice?
Like a practice.
Wow.
At 40 years old.
Something about that seems just not real, but that's insane.
I feel like he just shouldn't play this year and make sure he's actually fine.
Yeah, for real. Anyways, steering back into NBA stuff, though.
I'm done with the in-season tournament rant. I don't have anything further to add on that.
I think it'll be interesting to see Lakers Celtics maybe be the championship game. NBA couldn't really ask for a better.
No, they really couldn't.
Final result. No.
Oh, we could look at the matchups that are coming up because it's Pacers, Celtics, Knicks, Bucks, Lakers,
Lakers, Suns,
yep.
And which Kings, Pels.
Yeah. I think that the Celtics beat the Pacers healthily. Last time they played, it was like a 50-point game. They didn't have Tyrese Halliburton, who is quietly like cooking with some sauce. And I think we'll probably talk about him later because we talking about some like exciting surprises that we've seen in this season. And not that Tyrese Halliburton is good. We knew that. Shout out to Iowa State, where he went to college, if those didn't know. but like the sheer like
level that he is at is
he like went from like if there's like stairs of players and like tiers, he like jumped 3 tiers or 2 tiers
multiple times now.
He's done it twice.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Anyway, I think Tyrese Halliburton does not mean that's like. I think the Celtics still win, and in like there's going to be garbage time. Like I think it's a comfortable win. I personally believe.
Celtics are a good offensive team and defensive team. Pacers can't guard anybody.
And
at all. Celtics are the second best defense in the league, so it'll give the Pacers some fits. Who, by the way, are the best offensive team in the NBA so far by the numbers.
Oh,
they're the best offensive. They have the best offense in league history right now.
But putting up 160 points almost twice, or almost 160 points twice, I think would probably do that this early into the season.
Their offensive rating on cleaning the glass is 122.9.
That's wild.
League average this year is 114.6.
Yeah, that's a big swing.
Yeah.
Then Knicks Bucks. I think I lean Knicks. As weird as that seems,
the Bucks are just a weird thing right now. I don't know if they're good.
And I'm not, and maybe that's also me being like so down on the Bucks since like week 1. I saw them struggle, and so I was like, they suck for the rest of the year. I'm not going to reevaluate my opinion. They definitely have looked better in like the past couple of games. Kind of
past 2 weeks ish, but like,
and then
even then, there's been games that have been
Sao.
Yeah, losing to the Bulls. Which, granted, the Bulls did play really well that game. Vooch had a big game, and Alex Caruso, obviously.
I'm just worried about like their coaching situation because that was never a variable you had to be worried about in the regular season of like,
not at all. Yeah.
Are they going to be coached poorly? Because the answer is no. They will be coached better than everyone else.
Yeah, exactly.
Always, until you got to like in-game adjustments, because that's the one place that Budenholzer struggled.
Yeah,
we've talked about this ad nauseum on the podcast. You can go find episodes where we talk about like where the only places Budenholzer was weak as a coach. It's not the regular season. He has his team a well-oiled machine. I don't think Adrian Griffith has that. I just don't think that it's there. Is it Griffith or Griffin?
Griffin.
It's Griffith.
I noticed. I thought you said Griffith that one time earlier, and I was like, maybe he didn't. I don't know. I gave you the benefit of the doubt.
Griffin.
I know it's Griffin. Yeah, 100% sure. It's Adrian Griffin. He played in the NBA. He has a son in the NBA, Adrian Griffin Jr., AJ Griffin, on the Hawks.
There's a cricket player named Adrian Griffith. Apparently a pretty good one, like a Hall of Fame cricket player.
Interesting. Yeah, well, this is Adrian Griffin. He's the rookie head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks.
And it shows.
Yeah. I will say he seems like he's pretty receptive to trying new things, which is always a good sign.
Which is healthy. A good sign is a good way to put it.
Yeah, he's adjusted.
But also chasing off one of the most like best basketball minds in the current day universe in Terry Stotts before the season starts. Not a great sign, but they kind of counterbalance. Maybe they'll get things figured out and they'll just be a team that like in their record they might be 46 and something, whatever. They might not be crazy in the regular season record, but once they get into the playoffs at the end of the season, they'll kind of hit their stride and be the terror that people thought they were going to be immediately after the Dame trade. Maybe. Or losing Drew Holiday is a way bigger deal than people thought, and Chris Middleton will never return to what they need him to be.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that if we never saw the Drew Holiday trade happen, like the Dame trade happen, I still think we would be in a situation right now where we'd be like, the Bucks are in danger. Like they're, you know what I mean?
We would be sending flowers to Budenholzer being like, we are sorry.
Yeah.
You are so much better than we thought.
Yeah.
Just because of the change of system did not go well.
That and also like their roster kind of deteriorated.
Because of age. They're just older.
Just Chris Middleton actually. And lack of flexibility with the assets at that. Not a lot of, well, not even not a lot, like very few young people on the team and like no draft picks, at least immediate draft picks. So it's just kind of tough. But adding Dame got you some offensive firepower, but then it also traded off a big part of why their defense was so immaculate.
Yeah. Because no, they just went from a top 4 defense in the NBA, top 3. At least I don't know about statistically, but just like in my brain list off good defenses, the Bucks were in that conversation to a upper
middle
20s, middle like low teens, upper 20s. Maybe
on cleaning the glass, they're 20th right now.
Yeah.
They've been 15th the past 2 weeks.
That's just a kind of a fall from grace.
Yeah.
And their offense hasn't jumped to match the same way
they're 8th in offense, which is the same that they've always been.
But that's what they always were. Yeah.
Yeah.
They would need to have Pacers offense with their defensive drop to match to still be the same level of team.
Yeah.
But like I said, they might be a team that as Adrian Griffin gets more comfortable, maybe they'll kind of hit their stride and be a terrifying 4 seed, which I think they would be anyway. Or 5, whatever.
Yeah,
I don't think there's
I believe
one
they're the 3 seed right now, right?
Right now,
yeah,
because it's Celtics then Magic.
Yeah, which I don't know if that'll stay like that, but that's a fun story so far.
Then it's Bucks, Sixers, Knicks. The East is pretty not chalk outside of the Magic. The West is where things are whoa. The West has had some wild fluctuations, I feel.
Oh yeah, for sure.
In comparison to the.
And everybody's at the same spot for the most part, other than the bottom. Spurs, it's crazy. Spurs have only won 3 games, but they've had
they were both
loud
against
wins.
2 of their wins were against the Phoenix Suns have lost 7 games, and 2 of them are to the 3-win Spurs.
Yeah,
the league is primed for expansion, Adam.
Yeah, but there's been multiple performances from the Spurs where it's wow, this team has a lot of potential. You know what I mean?
There are, they don't feel like they're a move away, but they're if they can somehow hold this roster together with ratchet straps and just make it 3 years, they will be terrifying.
Yeah, Popovich, I feel is just doing the, he's definitely not doing the scraping out every single win thing. He is doing the complete opposite, having fun with just anywhere his mind can take him. He's experimenting, running Jeremy Sohan. I don't know, one of those two. Running him as their starting point guard, who has never played a lick of point guard in his life.
Which gave us the greatest clip in the history of the NBA. Sohan's driving down the court. Has Wemby to his left on a fast break. Has Wemby to his left. Trey Jones to his right. You think you go up to the French phenom? Give it to nope. Trey Jones in the corner almost, and then
let's also say Trey Jones is running to the corner. Victor Wembanyama is trailing the play, heading to the rim.
Passes it out to the Trey Jones, and then Trey Jones, without thinking, almost like as the ball hits his hands, he chest passes it to an oop for Wemby.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Why are you passing it to me? You should have passed it to him.
And then everybody on Twitter and social media was and that is why you can tell Jeremy Sohan's never been a point guard.
And Trey Jones is an actual point guard. Yeah.
But
I think that, experimenting like that, getting somebody who, Jeremy Sohan, part of his game that everybody has seen glimpses of is he's has pretty good feel for passes and stuff like that he makes, but he's never been a live dribble creator. You know what I mean? That's a big jump to make. But that is an aspect of his game that he needs to have if he wants to reach that Draymond's level of offensive
that people think
skill.
He can.
Yeah,
or that
of being able to be an initiator like that.
Yeah. And I think, obviously, Popovich knows, this is the year to do it. With how good, you're not gonna... Even if you play perfect scrape every win out, this is, a 6-7 win team? It's not like they're anything...
On the season?
No, as of right now.
Right now, okay.
Sorry,
okay,
I should have verbalized that better. Right now, they're a 7-win team as opposed to a 3-win team.
Probably.
When you could develop what could turn into just this monster of Wemby, and so that could be terrifying. That could be just such a problem that no one would have an answer.
If you have somebody taking care of all of your point guard necessities, that is a 6'8" switchable wing. Like and not even just switchable, but like a very, very good defensive player.
And then if they can run your offense, you just go find 3-and-Ds to put around your 7'11" center. He's not 7'11". How tall is it?
7'4".
That's just anyway. 7'4", defensive freak, offensive anom.
That's also barefoot. 7'4" barefoot. So like. And shoot how we
when he's playing
normally think of
basketball,
NBA
he's
heights.
realistically 7'6", probably.
Yeah. Somewhere in there.
That's a level of disgusting.
He looks like it too. Like he makes Rudy Gobert look small, and Rudy Gobert is 7'1".
Well, I think we talked about it like right after it happened, but the picture of Wemby shooting the 3 over Kevin Durant, and it looks like Kevin Durant's taking a 3 over Chris Paul. Like it's like it's just like levels.
Yeah.
Chris Paul
exactly
could legitimately like tackle Wembanyama and the shot would still not be contested. Like he could jump off a trampoline and not block the shot.
Yeah.
But speaking of Wemby, as we are kind of maneuvering our way past whatever, I want to bring it up because if you haven't listened to any episodes, Big Chet Holmgren guy, number 1 in the Rookie of the Year odds, has switched hands.
Mm-hmm.
Chet Holmgren, who's been playing out of his noggin, just been cooking with the most sauciest of sauces, has been...
I'd say a big factor in this too, sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I was just going to say the big factor in this too is the wins. I feel like the Spurs just being terrible and the Thunder being one of the best teams in the league so far.
But I think that's part of it, but also the fact that like Chet has been the second best player on the Thunder, and they're winning games. With how well he's playing, he is like there.
He's maximizing his role for sure.
He's doing almost nothing wrong in the role he's being given. Which I think is important.
Completely maximizing. That's why, I mean, his shooting? His true shooting is like 69%. It's like what Jokic was at last year.
Like, he is,
and he's actually like shooting some threes and stuff. He's not just a rim runner. That's where he gets a lot of his shots is at the rim. He has some variety to his shot selection, more so than just like a Mitchell Robinson. Putting up a 70% true shooting season. But yeah, Chet Holmgren though, like. It's pretty incredible. You think he would have won Rookie of the Year last year?
Yes.
You do?
If he's
who knows if he has the same type of season, but
that's why I would rather it be like a comeback player of the year award for those type of guys and that you just don't get a Rookie of the Year. Because I think the value of sitting and watching and being in an NBA environment for a year almost makes it not fair.
Yeah.
Almost where Donovan Mitchell should have gotten a 1.5 multiplier on his Rookie of the Year votes. Because that's the last time it's
close. It was really close between the two of them. Just if you don't look at the year, factor.
I also just hate on Ben Simmons because he was a Sixer. Whatever, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'll own it. I know why. I was on the Mitchell train, and I'm on the opposite side of it now, I guess, because I want Chet to win. But I just NFL. And I'm almost positive Rookie of the Year is you get injured, doesn't matter. It is Rookie Year. Just because
that's
of
how it works in
the NFL. I believe
I had
so.
no idea. I believe you. I
feel like I looked this up to make sure I wasn't crazy. Because in the NFL, yeah, I might. I'm pretty sure I'm right. I think I looked it up during the Ben Simmons era. Because were we doing Next Man Up podcast when that happened?
In what? When what happened?
The Ben Simmons, Donovan Mitchell thing.
No, that was a couple of years at least before we ever did a podcast.
Or is that when I did mine?
I think it was before both. We were freshmen in college when that season happened. Donovan Mitchell's rookie year.
Then we must have just talked about it in somewhere for just a long time.
Because we always talked about NBA before we start a podcast. That's why it kind of works very naturally.
I just remember it being a very long I felt like it was like multiple occurrences for like a long time type of event.
I don't remember actually ever talking about it with you.
But then maybe honestly. I don't know. Maybe I just
we probably did. But
maybe we just texted and that's why it felt like it was so long.
It was very covered by the media. I feel like it was a big thing that I would see stuff about every day. Like because they were both getting into it, like wearing shirts that were like calling out the other person.
Yeah,
stuff like that. Like Donovan Mitchell wore a shirt that had the dictionary What?
Did it say like not a rookie or something like that?
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell was wearing a shirt that had the dictionary definition of the word rookie. That's all it said. It's like rookie, and then it had like the definition of it.
Oh yeah, an athlete playing his or her first season as a member of a professional sports team.
Yeah, which is technically true.
I want to say the NBA is the only one that does this weird. Even if you get injured, that's fine.
Really? But based on that definition, I just don't get why he thought he was making such a big point there, because there's still that
as a member of a professional sports team
playing his first season as a member. Playing his first season.
I guess yeah. I still feel like it's backwards. I just think that the whole reason that this came up, I feel like that year of just sitting and being in the environment is huge.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
Like, for Chet,
I think it makes sense either way to me. But like, you just have to make it a rule either way. Like,
yes, because like if let's say Wemby sat a year and had a year to like not bulk up, but like get his body ready. It's already ready for the NBA, but like that's what Chet did for his year. Once he got healthy, he like bulked up. He put on weight and is now like this. He's not even like lanky. Doesn't even feel like it's going to be a problem. Like that's not what's going to cut his career short. Like you thought after his like injury happened.
I mean, like being skinny.
Yes, like being too skinny and just getting like bullied. He bullies people. Yeah. It doesn't matter how big you are. That's not true. There's like Joel Embiid that I'm sure would bully him, but
it's still going to happen now. Yeah.
Yeah, he just put on a bunch, like what, 15 pounds, something like that.
That's what he said. I'm pretty sure 15 pounds.
That's a lot of muscle to put on.
Yeah. I mean, he is 7'1", but still, that is quite a bit.
Yeah. Anyway, I talked about that.
Chet, though, like, just to go into like his game a little bit, he's
been doing
a little bit smaller than Wembanyama, but he has similar build, very similar actually. He's been shooting well. He is he's a really good rim protector, has really good defensive instincts. One thing I really like about him is like his motor, and his willingness to play the role that he's in, which is just like awesome to see a young guy just buying in. Somebody who's like a very highly touted prospect, debatable number 1 pick.
Should have been.
You think should have been over Paolo?
Oh yeah, I forget about that little wrinkle. They were in the same class. I forget about.
Who did you think it was going against?
The guy that went 1, or no wait, did Chet go 3?
Chet went 2.
Jabari, for some reason I thought Jabari Smith Jr. went higher than he did. 3.
Well, he was supposed to go like that. The odds in most sources were saying Jabari Smith was going 1 all the way up until the day of the draft,
and then it moved.
And then it flipped because like the whole time everybody was saying Chet was going 2 to Oklahoma City.
Yeah, and Paolo was 3 because
what did you say? Yeah, Paolo was 3 to Houston
because Jabari was going 1
to Orlando because like Scott. Wow, you forgot his name last time. I forgot his name this time. Sam Presti. There we go. Remember a few episodes ago? Yeah.
Yes.
Anyways, Sam Presti was pretty vocal about like the whole time that he was like, if we had the number 1 pick, we'd be taking Chet.
Just because of what we have. We have like...
because I think that's where he would rank him just in a vacuum of all those players. Like I think he saw Chet as number 1. His opinion.
That's interesting. I think, and I guess if you say who's a better player, Chet or like...
Paolo.
I feel like you're not crazy either way.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. That's what I was asking about. If he would have won Rookie of the Year last year.
I'm just taking like with what he's done in this small sample size. I feel like what he's doing, and maybe it's because he's buying into the role that I'm even more.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Just like
what we saw Paolo doing for Team USA
was
it was like eerily similar, honestly. Like just maximizing the role he was playing really well. Like if we saw Paolo playing on a team where he was like down in the pecking order, and just had a role to play instead of giving the keys, he has the keys to it all,
Think how disgusting the Rockets would be though if they took Paolo instead of Jabari Smith Jr. this year.
If they would have gotten Paolo, if he would have fallen to them. That would have been pretty insane.
This year, think how disgusting that team would be.
But who knows? Maybe their development just completely flips because like a big part of I feel like why Jabari struggled last year was because of the guard play on the Rockets was horrible and could not get him the ball.
Because he does look better this year than he did last year.
Yeah, for sure. He definitely does, with more of like a veteran presence there with Fred VanVleet as more of the primary ball handler.
And as much as I don't want to say it, I feel like Dylan Brooks has given that team like a little bit of a
moxie.
Yeah, and I hate it so much, but I feel like he's
such a Udoka guy. Dylan Brooks is like perfect for Ime Udoka.
The nose. We'll talk about this more when we get to surprises. I guess maybe we're already kind of talking there. Is there anything else you wanted to touch on before we dive into like the surprises?
Not really. I mean, we're kind of already talking about it, so we'll just keep the train moving.
Do you want to finish who we picked for our... I think T-Wolves win over the Pelicans.
You mean Kings?
Yes.
Isn't it Kings? Or is it Wolves? Am I crazy?
The Wolves have to play. The Wolves made it, didn't they?
I don't think so. I think it was the Kings.
The Wolves and the Nuggets aren't in the play-in? I was so invested in the Celtics watching their whole three-way garbage.
Yeah.
In season tournament, I'm going to mess that up probably until the end of time.
I think we've been saying in season.
I just said play-in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's Kings. It's Kings.
So
Lakers, Suns, Kings, Pels, Bucks, Knicks, Pacers, Celtics. Yeah, so I'll take Bucks over Knicks. You take Knicks over Bucks. Let's have the same picks. Let's have a solidarity, a hoop theory prediction.
I will not budge on the Boston Celtics.
Oh yeah, for sure. I agree.
Okay,
that's what I was going to pick anyways. But I'll go with you on the Knicks just because that's a coin toss for me, and you like the Knicks. So go Knicks on that. Lakers, Suns. I'll take Lakers.
Yeah, we can go Lakers because my other thing was like D-Book's not playing tonight.
Yeah, that's the game's not tonight, is it? Yeah, it's Tuesday.
No, it's true. I'm just saying, but he's not playing tonight because
so he might not be
Booker's
as ready.
Not playing against the Lakers. I'm all in on Lakers, so we'll go Lakers.
Yeah,
it's also because the Lakers feel like the one of the few teams that like took this in-season tournament are like this game matters
We're doing
more.
This. Yeah,
we are doing this.
Anthony Davis in particular. I think that's the key. If you get Anthony Davis invested or like caring about something, you know what I mean? Like that unlocks everything for them.
No, because we've talked about like how Anthony Davis, like when he cares, is the best player on the planet.
Yeah,
but he just
playing for a contract.
But for some reason, he doesn't care every night. Like he just
he needs something external to motivate him. He needs the carrot dangling in front of him,
Which is just so. It's just interesting to me that like. The thing, and it's not like what you would expect. It's like random things like Charles Barkley calling him street clothes. His first game back, he like I think he had like 50 points his first game back after being called street clothes. It just is what he needed. I don't know. But
or like elimination games and playoffs or like playoff games in general over regular season games. Like he's a monster in the postseason. Anthony Davis is.
It's crazy. And then Sacramento Pelicans, I think I lean Pelicans. Because of
I do too, just because lately they've been smacking everybody.
Nuking. Just doesn't matter who you are, you're walking in front of a buzzsaw. That is
Zion Williamson.
Two
going
NBA
to the
players
rim.
that are built completely different. Is there anybody in the NBA built differently that's a duo than Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram?
Yang.
Like one is just like this, like not like stubby person, but just like a tank, and then just this like slender little monster. Of Brandon Ingram. Also, I'm glad to see Brandon Ingram like not be fazed by his terrible Team USA performance. Mm-hmm. Like I was like not worried, but it seemed like everyone else either bought into a role or like the strategy was built around them, except for him. Like he didn't buy into the role that he was supposed to be given, and they didn't really work with him at all. Other than we'll send you to the bench, do dumb stuff for 20 minutes a game down there.
They wanted to use him as like a catch and shoot guy, which he more than like almost any. He's a very like polarizing player in this regard of like, but like he even on the Pelicans and on the Lakers, like just the percentage of like shots he takes off of catch and shoot is just like very, very low. Like he barely does it for some reason. He needs like a comfort dribble or something like that. Like when he catches the ball, he needs to like do something with it first. Get to his spot.
Well, no, and I think there's a lot of guys. I mean, it's like the free throw ritual for everybody. Like if you do your ritual wrong, like there's that. Have you seen this video? I think it was Thinking Basketball of Russell Westbrook's free throw percentage this when season after they said
you have to stay
in the circle.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But he got it figured out and got something new that worked for him. But like there was like a 6% drop, which is not nothing. When you're like a consistent free throw shooter, just randomly dropping 6%. I might be wrong on that number, but like
it was more than 6%. Pretty sure.
Really,
he went from like mid 70s to like low 60s.
Oh, okay, that's way worse than I thought it was. I just remember that there was like a dramatic drop. Like maybe he just needs that little bit of that comfort gather and then pulls up.
Yeah, because I mean he walks all the way back to half court. I'm pretty sure
is what he used to do.
He's the reason they implemented that rule. Which I believe it was already a rule. They just started enforcing it.
Like saying it slowed stuff down is what they said it was, right?
Yeah, it was like delaying the game.
But then the thing that I argue is like everybody shoots free throws faster. Like the Giannis thing. Like how do you stand there for 20 or 15 seconds and not shoot your free throw?
Yeah.
Like that's like an insane amount of time to stand there at the rim. Like 15 seconds. People don't think that's a lot of time. Count to 15. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3. Like that's a long time to just be standing there dribbling, looking at the rim.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know for sure. You know by chance what year this rule change happened?
I don't know. I can look it up.
Just because I see a very clear drop.
I'll say the year, and then you say if that's the year.
Okay, I want to try to average what, because it's like a 2-step drop kind of. Like he dropped a little bit, and then he dropped like equally as much again.
I have the year the change happened.
Okay.
Do you want it or like?
Yes.
You probably can see it without even guessing. 2017 season.
Like that was the first year that they were doing it differently, or the year after that was the first year?
I believe it's they implemented it. The way I read it is they
implemented in 2017?
In 17.
So that would be the 18 season.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, it'd be like in the 17 off season, which would be the 18 season. Yes, okay.
That's the year it looks like, because the 17 season was actually his career best free throw shooting percentage.
84.5%.
Yep. The season immediately after that, he dropped to over 10% less, 73.7. And then the year after that, he dropped again to 65.6. And he jumped back up for one season to like 76. But ever since then, he's been in the mid 60s.
Because what he would do, for those that don't know, he used to like shoot his first free throw. And then he would walk to half court and then walk back up to the line and then ask for the ball and then just shoot it. Like it was like there wasn't a whole. I
think the first free throw, didn't he walk in? He would walk into both of them, didn't he?
Yes, but the time it became an issue is when the ref threw him the ball early and then he threw it back.
Yeah, and Reggie Jackson just did that the other night. And I was thinking about it because it was when we were playing against the Clippers, I think, is when this happened. Reggie Jackson was actually outside of the circle. So I don't know if they enforce it really that much. But
well, I think it's also like a discretion type of thing. Like
if it's like he's barely out of it.
Yeah. It's not like a Olympic throwing shot and disc. You're out of the circle. Done. Yeah. Also, shout out to Reggie Jackson. We did not give that man flowers.
Yeah.
Before we
go into that, this free throw thing just got me fired up again about a memory that just from a couple weeks ago. We didn't record an episode about it, but It was in the game that Jokic got ejected. I'm sure everybody saw that. But so the first tech that he got, nobody for the most part seems to know this about, like, for most people that were talking about it on Twitter and stuff. The first tech that he got was in the first half, and it was on a play that Marvin Bagley, I believe it was. I'm pretty sure it was Marvin Bagley or Isaiah Stewart, one of those two. They had a lane violation on the free throw. He was fighting for position with Jokic. He stepped into the free throw lane, like, before the shot went up. And then because Jokic was kind of like involved with it, like they were touching each other, the ref blew the whistle and just had him reshoot the free throw, which is the opposite of what you're supposed to do when you blow the whistle for a lane violation on the offensive team, on the team shooting the free throw.
It's supposed to kill the free throw.
Yeah, that's essentially calling it on the Nuggets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of what you should do. And so Jokic got mad and was like, he was like arguing with the ref, and they started like fighting back and forth, yelling, and then he got teed up. But like, that's just such a stupid play to me.
Is that when Malone got ejected, or what did Malone do?
Malone was later. Shortly later.
Because did Malone get straight kicked, or was it like teed twice?
He got teed, and then as he got, like, when he got teed, he basically like teed the ref back. You should look at the video. He clearly walks up to him and says like "F you," like very like aggressively to the ref. Like he blows up at the ref as soon as he gives him a tee, and like just gets kicked out. But and like he doesn't even come back to the bench at all. He literally just like
he knows.
He just starts walking out of the arena. But it was like that. I think when he started talking to the ref was right after that Jokic thing happened, and then there was multiple possessions of like Jokic being bumped and like scraped, and like, you know how he always is.
Yep.
And refs just not calling anything, and then so Malone's just talking with a ref, and eventually I don't remember what happened on the play that he blew up, but I don't think it was anything major. I think it was just like a culmination of everything. But that was still in the first half. I want to say that he got tossed. Malone, David Adelman took over as the head coach, and then in the second half,
which is crazy that he's still in Denver. Respectfully, I think we talked about this in the offseason. The fact that he did not, maybe he interviews bad, I don't know. The fact that he did not get poached by somebody for a head coaching spot is crazy. That he's still in Denver. He
got interviewed a few places, I think. But yeah, it's very nice for us because he's our offensive coordinator, and I think he's a big part of the way things go there. Him and Jokic, I think, are a really good match. But anyway, so Jokic got tossed because I think it was Marvin Bagley was guarding him. Are you watching the Malone section?
The Malone one. He's standing in the corner, like almost like PJ Tucker, just standing in the corner because he's like not all the way off the court, like yelling, and the ref's like, stop, and then he tees him up, and Malone goes very clearly, F you, and then walks.
As he's like walking right towards him, right? Pretty sure he like walks up to him and says
the timing, because I think he sees the ref like, okay, this is done, you're done, and then he just starts going, doesn't even look at the ref again, just F you, and then keeps going.
I'm pretty sure Malone does that sometimes on purpose. Like, I've seen Malone get tossed multiple times exactly like that, like where he gets the first tech and then he's like, F it all, like, I'll get the second one right here. I don't care.
When the guy that takes over for you is like just as, if not like, not, I don't want to say more competent, but like, it's not like there's this giant drop off.
Like, he's nowhere close to Malone in terms of like the way he commands.
Yes,
like a room
demands like attention and demands. Yeah.
But he's a very, very competent basketball mind.
No, but in terms of like getting into a huddle and drawing up a play, there's you're fine. There's not going to be any issues.
But I think the reason Malone does that though is part of why what we're talking about here, the factor that he has as a coach that I don't think David Adelman is quite as strong in is the motivation factor. Like, because that game and multiple games that the Nuggets have had, motivation is clearly a big issue. And Malone getting himself tossed from a game a lot of times has like
Gets people fired up.
Yeah, it gets people fired up. And then Jokic getting tossed got like that added another layer on top of it. Like the Nuggets after that were like we didn't win the game, but or wait, no, I think we did. I want to say we did. It was really close, but I think we did pull that game out. It was the Pistons, yeah. I think we won that game. But yeah, Jokic got thrown out in the second half. I think it was like the third quarter. But it was on a play where Marvin Bagley it just kind of bumped into him. It was like a borderline foul, but I think it was just like the fact that it kept happening and, he wasn't ever getting any of the calls. That Jokic kind of just like stopped playing mid-play. Like he put out his hands like this and let the ball bounce. And he was like, what is going on? And then he kind of tried to like do like a rip through to draw a foul there at the end, and they just like I don't remember what they called. I think it went out of bounds.
Is it just Curtis Blair? Is that the only guy that does it? Because that's who ejected Tatum tonight. The ejection thing.
Was it Curtis Blair that tossed Malone?
And Jokic.
Was that Curtis Blair?
I think so. Looking at it.
Oh yeah, I think it was actually. For some reason, I was thinking it was Tony Brothers, but that was a different game.
It might have been Tony Brothers that might have tossed Malone. I need to go back to the Malone. Anyway.
I don't think they wouldn't be on the same crew. I'm pretty sure Curtis Blair was the crew chief.
There is just a problem in the NBA.
With the techs.
With the techs. Like.
The refs are way too quick to tee up star players for things.
No, like anybody. You should not, just because they said, I think you're doing a bad job, like nicely, because like what you sent us a text. What did Jokic even say to get ejected?
Apparently what Jokic yelled at the ref when he got ejected was wake up. Which is just like such a like it's like the most polite way you could chew somebody out.
To be a jerk. Yeah.
Yeah.
But and I personally don't think that just because you're LeBron James or Jason Tatum or Nikola Jokic,
because
that you should get treated different.
From the standpoint of throwing you out, maybe a little bit, just because of that's like the product of the league that you're talking about. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. I'm more, and my brain is like the integrity of the game. Like no, like there should just
I get that standpoint as well, but there's also like the refs should just have like keep it in mind more so that like people aren't there to watch them. People are there to watch the players. You know what I mean? And so it's like if you feel wronged by one of the players, you shouldn't feel the need to be like, hey, you are going to get punished in this way that's going to keep you from playing for these fans that are here to see you play.
The leash used to be like the first tech like was very rare, and the second tech had an even longer leash. Like, to get ejected, you had to, like, Draymond Green or DeMarcus Cousins, like, stomp or punch or scream or shove people.
Yeah, it's becoming really short now.
I feel like the first leash is, like, equally as long as it used to be, but you're like...
Oh, no, I disagree. The like, all the text that we're getting, this is the main thing that I think needs to change.
I'm saying the second one, I feel like, is just... So, like, if you get the first one, you just have to be an emotionless zombie so you don't get your second.
Yeah, but also the first one comes by way too easily in most cases. Like that Jokic one for the free throw thing, just like the ref made a terrible mistake. Like something that is, it's like inexcusable. You saw a player walk into you blew the whistle for that reason, and then you give them the ball back.
Yeah,
that's just a mistake.
Refs need to do press conferences.
Yeah. That's not even like a missed call. That's like
just wrong.
You did the wrong execution of what happens after the call you just made. You know what I mean? Like that shouldn't happen. Yeah, but so Jokic, the first tech coming by way too easily. The one that really bugs me that we've seen a lot lately, it's been getting worse every single year, is the one that is like after a play happens, after like a dunk. Like Aaron Gordon, this happened to Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon dunks the ball. He swings a little bit on the rim, which he had the momentum that carried him to do this. He swung on the rim and just slapped the backboard as he jumped off, like as like a little bit of a celebration thing. After the ball's already scored, didn't affect anything. but the ref blows the whistle and calls him for a unnecessary excessive celebration technical, which did not delay the game in any way. Like, that stuff shouldn't happen. It just shouldn't.
No,
let the guy slap the backboard.
The other thing that makes me mad is when guys hang on the rim for too long. Oh, it's because someone's underneath the rim, referee.
Sometimes
that's what happened to Giannis.
That's a big issue.
The one that I remember with Giannis earlier this year is he literally, it was like a Shaq snapping of the rim, but he held on for a split second because I don't know who was under.
Somebody was under.
Someone was in the ballpark of what would be his landing area. So then he lets go literally less than a second. It's not like a hang there. It's less than a second. And gets ejected. I think it was teed up and ejected, just gone.
Yeah, and also the emotional plays of clapping after or yelling after a play happens where it's a call they didn't like, but they don't even direct it at the referee. They're not even looking at the referee, but they just do a fist bump, dang it type of thing, or clap or something like that. People get teed up for that all the time, and it makes me so mad as a fan, not even of the team that it's happening to, but it's what is the purpose of that? You're just I think is the reason behind it that they would say the ref would answer with is they don't want the emotions to flare up too much. They want to stop it before it goes somewhere. But it's how about just in those situations like that, just let those things happen, and or once it crosses a line is when you should blow the whistle.
I just went through puberty again. Or another thing, do you remember Grant Williams when he punched the basketball and it went too far, and then he got kicked out of a finals game?
Maybe
it was in the finals.
Yeah, and I do.
And then when Scott Foster comes up to him and ejects him, he's like, "What? I was just trying to get it." And he's like, "You can't punch the ball." He was like, nothing was malicious or mad. It was Grant Williams being Grant Williams. Was smiling, not sarcastically, while he was talking to Scott Foster. Just content. And he's like, "You can't punch the ball. You're out." And he's like, "Okay." And then he leaves.
That's insane.
In a finals game. And I get that's
Scott
the
Foster
rule.
is
the equalizer.
But it's
have you seen these
the extender? The extender, right?
Have you seen the extender? Have you seen the where it feels like a high school huddle mixtape, and it's with boom here, or is it Here Comes the by
POD?
Yes.
Or Nelly.
Nelly. The y'all don't
Nelly
really
one,
want. Here comes the boom.
Nelly.
And they put that in the background, and it's just clips of Scott Foster ejecting people and standing in his his defensive stance as he's shuffling his way around. Does the NBA have full-time refs? Is this their only job?
I believe so.
The NFL doesn't. The NFL, the refs are just usually it's just lawyers or rich people, and that's a part-time gig for them.
Really?
It's crazy.
I believe this is their full-time job, at least. The travel for an NBA ref has to be insane. You know what I mean? They're mixing it because the NFL, don't they have the same crews that stay together?
Yes.
The NBA is
the
a
NBA
rule
does
that
have full-time.
Yeah, but the NBA is a rule that they have to shuffle the crews every single game to keep the bias check power, it's
after
the refs,
it was
the refs can't form a team and decide to do something a certain, you know what I mean. It's a power balance type thing, which is a good method, I think. But I'm just saying having that and having to travel all over the country 9 months of a year,
let them
that's
stay in a group for the playoffs.
I don't think so. I think that's even more of a thing there. It's they don't keep the same crew. It's a crew.
Is it because of the Tim?
Mix them around.
The Tim Don. What's his name?
Who is he? What does he do?
NBA ref, formerly. Then he got betting or something. Tim Donaghy?
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about, but I don't know his name.
I don't know if that's when they implemented that, you have to, constantly...
That guy was... and Scott... There's, a lot of evidence to suggest that Scott Foster knew about that stuff and should have been kicked out of the league as well. Also, just gonna throw that out there.
Okay, so like Scott Foster does so many things wrong.
Yeah.
But he does wrong everywhere. It's not like he doesn't like just hate Chris Paul like people say. He doesn't just hate the Sixers, he hates any series not going to 7 games. He
also hates Chris Paul.
He does for sure. He does for sure hate Chris Paul.
Just looking at the numbers of like all the games that Chris Paul had been tossed, like literally almost all of them were Scott Foster.
No, I was going to say Chris Paul in playoff elimination games, if it's Scott Foster, is 0 for like 16.
I don't even think elimination games, just playoff games in general. He's won like 3, and like he's lost like 28 or something like that.
Wow, Scott Foster has officiated 1,617 regular season games and 226 playoff games. His favorite book is Golf is Not a Game of Perfect. His favorite meal is the Maryland Blue Crabs with corn on the cob. He would like to visit Italy.
What is this?
And his favorite movie is Braveheart. The National Basketball Referees Association.
Can we stop this? I don't want to read about Scott Foster.
You don't want to know about his talent is he can body surf.
I don't even know what that means. I don't want to know what it means.
His bucket list is to win gold at the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships.
I'm not even going to comment on this. You're going to move right on.
His favorite TV shows are Shameless and Ozark. And his favorite musician is Spearhead and Michael Franti.
Don't know who either of those people are.
Do you want to know his favorite app, or would you like me to stop?
Let's stop. I think because we're already past the time that you said you would be able to record.
Oh, no, I'm fine. I just have to go to work tomorrow morning. It's okay.
Okay, but let's at least touch on that the thing that you brought up. Reggie Jackson and DeAndre Jordan returning to their prime selves against the Clippers.
Reggie Jackson almost surpassed his prime.
Also, yeah, for sure. 35 and 13 or something like that is what he had.
Weirdly enough, against the Clippers, of all the teams for these dudes to dial back the clock, against the Clippers, how
Reggie
fitting.
Jackson always plays really like both. I shouldn't say always. Both the games that he's played against the Clippers so far in a Nuggets uniform, he's played very, very well. But yeah, let me pull up the stats for that game. That should have been something we prepared for. But 35, yeah, that's, wow, my memory is pretty good. 35 and 13 is what he had. 13 assists for Reggie Jackson.
Dang.
Yeah, 35-13. And 5 rebounds to go with it. DeAndre Jordan, 21 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists. Like, kind of like a tame down Jokic stat line. Yeah. It was like Jokic like 3 or 4 years ago. Was that stat line, roughly.
That's an Alperen Şengün stat line.
Yeah. Except for, yeah. Put a little bit more in the assists, take less rebounds.
Yeah.
That'd be.
But no, it was fun to watch. Because it just was like, what is going on? I thought this was an insta lose. I thought the Clippers were finally going to get a win against a good team. And then just Reggie Jackson exploded.
But yeah, a win against a good team is not genuine because the team that was rolling out there, this was the starting 5. Reggie Jackson, KCP, Michael Porter Jr., Justin Holiday, and DeAndre Jordan.
Not full strength.
Yeah, so we're without our 2 best players, Jokic and Murray, and then the guy who most would say for the past year or so has probably been our 3rd best player. So far this season, I don't know, maybe 3rd, 4th. He's either 3rd or 4th, and that's Aaron Gordon. So we were without all 3 of those players.
Those 3 guys were not playing. 3 of your top 4 were not playing.
Mm-hmm. And Jokic is like the most top one that a top one can be.
Yes.
You know? So that was pretty insane that we were able to beat the Clippers at completely full strength. You know,
I mean,
and a good game from Kawhi. Not great shooting, but
miracles. Like Reggie Jackson at how old is he?
32, 33.
He's not that old, but 35 out of Reggie Jackson, 21, an efficient 21, good rebound numbers, assist. Oh, DeAndre Jordan assist?
Dude, yeah, no, he I feel like he's like an understudy for Jokic now.
He's like taking notes.
Yeah, like the dribble handoff game that like he's like way better at it than I was expecting. It was like he must just like exactly like you said, take notes from Jokic.
Like he's like
something.
a pro's pro. Like it's like this is what you need me to do. I'll do it.
The 2-man game of Reggie Jackson and DeAndre Jordan was insane. There was literally 5 alley-oops. 5 alley-oops from Reggie Jackson to DeAndre Jordan that were successful dunks. There would have been 6, but the very first one they called offensive interference because the ball was barely over the cylinder when DJ touched it. So there would have been 6 in one game, 6 oops from one player to the same player. That's insane.
That's like 2K numbers where you just
and
like
that
spam it.
Player on the receiving end is like 36 years old. 35, I think. But.
I want it to happen so bad in a playoff run. Just like for some like Jokic sits for a little bit and it just happens, and then they just explode in like the 8 minutes they have together for like 14 combined points in 8 minutes, or just something crazy.
Yeah, it was a sight to behold. Reggie Jackson just was dialed in, and also one of our shorts from the summer is aging really well. That one of me talking about Reggie Jackson, how I feel like people are dismissing what he could be for us this year. You know, because like when he got signed in free agency, people were like not happy about it. A lot of people, it was like because they were like, oh, he played terribly when he got the minutes last year. It's like, I don't know, he just joined us mid-season and we're a team that's like very different than every other team in the NBA and trying to, compete for a title. So like with a full offseason heading into the year, I feel like Reggie Jackson is going to be like a really, really solid backup point guard. That's what happened. So
do you want to know Tony Brothers' favorite book? Sorry, I cut you off.
We're not doing this. I swear.
It's the
I'm
Bible.
not okay with that. It's the Bible.
It's the Bible, and his most favorite, the place he would like to visit is Israel. I love that I found this.
I'm just going to wait until your focus comes back to the episode at hand.
I'm sorry. Oh, man, there's so many referees. Jeez Louise. What about Andy Nagy? Andy Nagy's favorite musician is ZZ Top.
Nagy.
I'm done. Nagy?
Nagy.
Okay. His favorite musician is ZZ Top. I'm done. I close the tab.
Yeah. But he was one of the refs that the Detroit Pistons announcer called out on that broadcast, which we failed to mention, on the Jokic ejection. What came out of that was that awesome clip of the Detroit Pistons announcer.
Nobody came to watch.
Yeah, he like says each of the refs' name, and he's like, whoever they are. Nobody came to watch these names, whoever they are. What's so funny about that is like Chris Marlowe and Scott Hastings on the Nuggets call, like they were upset, but like they didn't like do this whole diatribe or like it's just funny that the Detroit Pistons announcer was like more angry about the fact that Jokic was being thrown out than the Nuggets announcers were. Just like a golden moment. But yeah, so the other Nuggets thing I will add is the last game we played. Well, I guess I should mention this also. The Rockets game that we had last week. So not this past one, but the one before that. It was at the Rockets Arena. So it was the last in-season tournament group play game that we played. We got destroyed. We had the worst shooting game that the Nuggets have had in 9 years.
Oh.
So that's Jokic's entire career. And also, it was the lowest scoring output that we've had in the past 2 years. We only had 86 points. We scored 86 points against the Rockets. I want to say, so in the first half, I was keeping note of this as I was watching the game. Jokic had 17 of our first 19.
Oh, wow.
That is the second time that, and I want to say that I might be wrong on this. This just popped in my head now as one of those like memory click moments. I'm pretty sure the first game that happened in where Jokic had 17 of our first 19 was also against the Rockets. It's the first time we played the Rockets.
I feel like also that's like a thing that like if Jokic has a lot of points, things are going poorly. Like if he has that type of ratio of like over 80% of your team's points, things are going terribly wrong.
Yeah. So for the first full quarter of the game, there was only 3 people who scored the Nuggets. 3 players scored the entire first quarter. KCP had 2 points. I think MPJ had like 5, and Jokic had the rest. And then, so also our first bench point didn't come until like the second half. So yeah, it was just a bad game all the way around. But then we played the Rockets again on a week later-ish. Well, not a whole week, because we played that Rockets game, first one, or second of the 3. We played them 3 times now. Second time we played them was on Friday. Third time we played them was this week on Wednesday, I want to say. And that game was a lot better. We put up 76 points in the first half. So the math on that, we scored 86 points the first game. Second game against the same team, less than a week later, we put up 76, 10 points less in the first half alone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Murray was back, but he really wasn't playing very much himself. Because, he kind of, his first shot of the game was at the end of the shot clock grenade from Michael Porter Jr., who went up for a shot in the corner and bailed out of it and threw it all the way back to half court. Like Jamal had to run to catch it at half court. Jamal was deep inside of the Nuggets logo at half court and just threw it up. And it went in. That was his first shot. But he rolled his ankle or something like that pretty early on, so he was out, in and out of the game, barely played. But the big thing that game was MPJ. I guess just having Jamal there in the lineup was like enough to get MPJ back to normal, back into his confidence. Because Porter went off and had a great game. He had 30 points. I want to say 10 rebounds and 5 assists. He had 30, 10, and 5 from MPJ. Jokic in that game had it was a 30-point triple-double. Don't remember the exact digits on that one. But yeah, 30-point triple-double for Jokic leading the way. But yeah, it was just that one was a great game. I'm feeling back on track. The Nuggets went through a really rough stretch, especially like all those games with Jamal out basically were pretty rough. But we also were playing really good defensive teams, all of them on the road too. So we're still undefeated at home, which is just kind of insane. We're 9-0 at home, and what's our record?
Those are like Warriors numbers.
Yeah, we're 13-6, and we're 9-0 at home.
It's a big Warriors vibes.
Yeah. But yeah, so I guess that will do it on the Nugget stuff, I want to say. I don't know if there was really kind of covered all the standing stuff, and we did our trivia. So we are probably here at the end of our episode.
Yeah. Be sure to head on over to patreon.com/Hoop Theory to support Logan as he does a whole lot of grinding, putting out shorts, and producing my ramblings. Because that's pretty much, you don't hear all of them, but you hear a lot of them. He sorts through all the garbage, cuts it all out. So go support him over on patreon.com/Hoop Theory. Also, head on over to Buy Me a Coffee if you're looking more for a one-time investment in entertainment as opposed to a monthly installments. If you are able, we would appreciate it if you'd hit a like on the YouTube video if you're watching it there, as well as subscribe and hit the notification bell. And if you are on other sources, give us 5 stars, as it truly, truly does help kind of get our information out there. Leave a comment if you are still here on YouTube, because I think that's the only place you can leave comments, isn't it?
And Spotify, you can do Q&A, like leave a question.
And we'll answer it next episode.
Yeah.
I promise. We'll open up next episode with answers to questions if you're listening on Spotify. And if you're not listening on Spotify, head on over there and ask a question or leave your favorite book. As we learned that Tony Brothers' favorite book is the Bible.
Yeah.
Bye. That's it. I don't have anything else.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important thing I learned today.
I don't know about that, but...
or Scott Foster's favorite movie is Braveheart.
That's so basic.
No, it's not.
That is super... Okay, like, if you polled the world, that's got to be, like, top 10. Braveheart?
I don't know. My favorite
it's like a
movie,
top 10 answer.
My favorite movie of all time is Hunt for the Wilder People. So,
See, that's a lot more niche.
I don't think anybody will probably know that movie. Some people might. I don't know.
I think there's a good amount of people out there that
How
would
much did Hunt for the Wilder People make at the box office?
Probably not a lot. I think it blew up on streaming platforms later. It blew up on like Hulu. Blew up is like a relative term. But anyways, well, the thing I was going to add before we get out of here is all the links of all those things that Jacob just said, the Buy Me a Coffee and the Patreon and all that stuff can be found in the description of both the show and the episode, wherever you're listening to this. And yeah, Jacob already hit all of the other nails right on the head. So
I did my best.
Yeah. And so we'll leave you guys with stay happy, stay healthy, and we will talk to you guys next episode.
Peace!